Grandparents are playing a bigger role in grandkids' lives now more than ever.
Joining us to share the challenges grandmas and grandpas are facing are Linda and Richard Eyre. Welcome back.
Always good to be here.
Happy to be here. It's so fun.
What are you hearing in terms of the challenges grandparents are facing these days?
You know, we surveyed 1,000 of them who joined our course, our grandparenting course. The three things they're the most worried about are the relationship with the parents, because they don't want to step on any toes, how to form individual relationships with the grandkids, how do they get them to talk, how do you get into their world, and the third's an interesting one, how do you teach them values? Grandparents are really worried about that, and they think it's their job to teach the values.
Well, and I think they're worried about how do I fit in now? I mean, other than just how much should I do and not do and so on. But they need a vision. It's so fun to have a vision of what you want to be as a grandparent. And we've been doing a class, and it's been so fun to challenge them to think, what do you want this to look like in 10 years from now? What's your vision for having these beautiful grandchildren, whether you're just starting or whether you've got a whole gaggle?
We have them all write a vision statement, just like they would for a company or whatever, of the kind of grandparent they want to be. It's really fun. Over 1,000 grandparents joined us in this course, and we finished it off last month, and we're starting it over again now. A week from today, 1 week from today, it starts again.
I like the vision idea, because then it's very intentional what presence they want to be, what it is they want to teach. Why do you think grandparents are so much more involved now than they were 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
For one thing, they've realized they might be a grandparent for 40 years. You know, we have a lot of 40-something grandparents in our class. So if they live to be 85, they'll be a grandparent 40 years. They better learn how to do it.
Well, longer than you are a parent. I mean, and you know, you really like to have a vision as a parent, but as a grandparent, you can do things that parents can't do. That's what makes it so exciting, because, I mean, long-distance grandparenting is huge, but now, with the internet the way it is, we just talked to 6 of our grandchildren yesterday who just moved to Bangkok. And we talked to every one of them. They took us on a tour through their house. I mean, there's so many things you can do just by email, not email, little ones don't do that, but text, FaceTime for sure. Texting for the teenagers is awesome. And there's just so many things that you can do to really be involved with your kids, your grandchildren.
Remind us how many grandchildren you have.
34.
34, and you're keeping track of each and every one of them. You know, that's a lot.
It is so fun, though. I mean, we have 17 and 17. Go figure. 17 girls, 17 boys, but they are so delightful, and you can just drop in on their lives no matter where they are. We have one who in Switzerland as well, and so we have them in Hawaii, we have them in New York City, we have them everywhere, and it's just so fun. In fact, easier in some ways, because you can just sit down and write them a text. What are you doing today? And it's so fun to be connected.
Well, there is so much encompassing the role of a grandparent that you have created a big successful course. What would you say is the main takeaway? What do you want those grandparents who are caretaking? My parents are doing that for me right now. What do you want them to know and understand?
Well, let me tell you how the course works, because it's really fun, because they're all over the world, these grandparents. We have some in Europe, we have some in Australia. They're all joining by Zoom. The Zoom courses last 2 hours. And the first hour, we talk about whatever the subject is for that week, and then we take their questions, and we get lots of questions, and we go for another hour answering all those questions. I think the main thing it contributes, it brings together electronically all these grandparents who can sympathize with each other, give ideas to each other, ask questions. And the more conscious you are as a grandparent of what the challenges are, what you need to do, how you can avoid common mistakes that a lot of grandparents make, the more that you have in your mind, the more confident you get. And if you're confident as a grandparent, you're going to do a lot of good. You're going to help the parents, and you're going to help those kids.
Well, and the nice part is you can pay what you want. I mean, we decided when we started this, we don't want to make a lot of money doing this.
For this course, it's
free. It does cost some money to do, but you can do free if you want to, or we have people who are doing scholarships who are paying for other people who can't pay. You just go online and decide if you want to pay, how much you want to pay, and it works so beautifully because everybody can be involved.
And it's a 2-hour course.
2-hour course once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month.
But then every week they get an update by email. with resources and ideas
And support.
So much
support.
stuff. In fact, sometimes I say, Richard, that's enough. That's enough.
She thinks I send them too much. I'm like, no, they need all the help they can get.
Everything that we
Well,
can.
you're the experts with 34 grandchildren. You know your stuff. What are some of the surprising questions that you've heard from grandparents?
Well, they always surprise you because they'll say things like, what do I do with this grandchild who won't talk to me? I can't get anything out of him. We send out a questionnaire of the questions kids will actually answer, you know, and we'll get another grandparent saying, what do I do? My kids, the parents, say that I'm being too aggressive and they want me to get out of their life.
And so what we say to them is send them a questionnaire. How much do you want me to be involved?
Yeah.
And we actually send them the questionnaire. I mean, should I be involved wholly if you, or just when you ask? Or do you want me to jump in, or do you want me to stand back? That's really revealing, because then suddenly they're like, oh, maybe I've been a little bit overboard, or maybe I haven't been as involved as I think I should.
And other grandparents are like, how do I get them to stop asking me to babysit every day? I have a life of my own,
Shoot.
you know.
That's
So there's just
me.
this whole range of things.
Yeah.
And I think just thinking about it and sort of getting back to what Linda said, forming your own vision of the kind of grandparent you want to be. And it's so easy to sign up, Grandparenting 101. Doesn't that strike a bell? Like the basics, grandparenting101.com. And like Linda said, you can join for free. And the course starts again a week from today. So they've got to get registered
It's
Now's
just
the time.
this week.
And believe it or not, grandparents know how to chat on Zoom. They're awesome.
Well, grandparenting101.com, you are accepting applications right now so they can join your course next week. Thank you so much. I think this was really insightful, and grandparents and parents really need all the help they can get these days.
3-generation families.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
It
Fabulous.
absolutely does. Thank you both so much.
Thank
These
you
are
for
such
having
valuable conversations. Up next.